What is up guys, Anton here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the major comeback of Honor. Now I'm sure you've seen Tito James's video on their flagship offering. If not, check it out up here. But today we'll instead be checking out the Honor X series, their budget to mid-range lineup, and we'll be looking at how much they cost, their specs, para makita nyo kung magandang option ang mga bagong phone na to. But first, make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to follow our other socials on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more Unbox Philippines content and future giveaways. Now, let's first take a look at their most affordable device, the Honor X7. Starting at 9,990 pesos, this affordable device provides a pretty decent amount of features. Now, this is the only phone of the three we'll be seeing today that has a drastically different design, and as you can see, the back panel is quite glossy. We're also getting a dual circular camera module housing the 48 megapixel main shooter, a 5 megapixel ultra-wide, and a pair of 2 megapixel shooters. Now, this screen features a teardrop notch that houses the 8 megapixel selfie camera, and as for the screen, we are getting a 6.74 inch HD Plus IPS LCD display here, and we're gladly getting a 90 Hz refresh rate. Now, for the memory, we are getting 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage. Now, this budget phone does feature a respectable 5,000 milliamp hour battery to keep the lights on and supports 22.5 watts of fast charging. Now, the main distinguisher of the X series is mainly the build quality and the camera setup, so we'll get into the specs that all these three phones share later on. So moving on to the Honor X8, this phone comes in at the price of 12,990 pesos, and there's already a huge difference in finish. Seeing the glowing back panel here, you are getting much less fingerprints thanks to a well-textured matte finish as well as a more unique aesthetic. Now, unlike the two other phones here, we are getting a boxier build compared to the curved designs of the X7 and X9. The quad camera setup is housed in this square design where we're getting the same cameras as the X7 but with a slight upgrade on the main sensor to 64 megapixels. And as for the selfie camera, we are getting a 16 megapixel front-facing shooter that is housed in this camera cutout. Dito mo rin makikita yung pinakamagandang feature na mahahanap mo sa Honor X8, and in my opinion, that is the screen, because we are getting a 6.7 inch Full HD Plus IPS LCD display here at 90 Hz. But unlike the X7, we are getting absurdly slim bezels here. This is honestly the ideal flat screen, and it's really nice to see this on this kind of device because it gives you a much more premium visual experience. Now, this slightly more expensive device also rocks 6 gigs of RAM, 2 gigs more than the X7. Now, this boxier build does seem quite a bit chunky, so I was surprised to see a smaller 4,000 milliamp hour battery inside, and like the X7, comes with a 22.5 watt charger, but you can expect faster charging speeds on the X8 thanks to that smaller battery. Now, the most premium X series phone from Honor is none other than the Honor X9, which comes in at 14,990 pesos. Taking a look at its build, its silhouette is almost the same as the Honor X7, but replaces the glossy back panel with a more premium feeling frosted finish here, much like the X8. The biggest difference is obviously the camera array that is largely similar to the X8 in terms of specs, but now features an 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera. The selfie camera is the same as the X8 at 16 megapixels housed in this center hole punch screen. Now, this is a slightly larger 6.81 inch Full HD Plus IPS LCD display, again at 90 Hz, featuring the amazing screen-to-body ratio that you see on the X8 as well. And of course, for RAM, we're getting 2 gigs more than the X8 for a total of 8 gigabytes of RAM and again 128 gigs of internal storage. Now, unlike its little brothers, this device excels in charging speeds with a 66 watt charger included in the box, filling up that 4,800 milliamp hour cell pretty quickly. Now, these three devices are in the mid-range price category, so it is quite surprising to see that these three phones share a handful of their specs. First, let's take a look at their builds. Well, the X7 and the X9 do share a similar feel, while the X8 features a boxy design. But all these phones share side-mounted fingerprint sensors under their volume rockers, making it quick and easy to get into your device. device. Now, the X7 may have an inferior screen compared to the other two devices, but they all feature the same speaker setup, which is a mono speaker. Now, there are quite a few affordable devices out there already providing stereo sound, so it would have been nice to see the more premium devices like the X8 and X9 to feature stereo speakers to match their already beautiful screens. Next is the performance of these devices, since they all share the same processor. The Snapdragon 680 is a popular chipset for mid-range devices, though I really wish they went with something a little bit more powerful. With a higher spec chipset, we could have seen higher refresh rates for the screens, overall better camera performance, and of course better graphics and frame rates for games. Now, the Snapdragon 680 is probably not a favorite of ours here at Unbox, but it does offer generally good performance and is good enough to run most games on low or medium settings. Now, all these phones come out of the box featuring Android 11 and their Magic UI 4.2. It is really nice though that Honor is giving us the alternate universe where Huawei gets the Google Suite on their phones, though it would be nice to see them commit to an Android 12 update, or at least bring these phones up to their latest Magic UI 7 in the near future. So that's about it for these phones. Now, the Honor X7 has a serious focus on battery life, but I personally think that the 3,000 pesos extra for the Honor X8 is totally worth it, thanks to the razor-thin bezels we're getting on the screen, really giving you a more premium visual experience. The Honor X9, of course, is the best of the bunch with a better camera setup and immensely faster charging. Though, let us know if you think those upgrades are worth the extra 2,000 pesos in the comments down below. Once again, my name is Anton, and I'll see you guys next time.